Which guy?
The fucking... that guy.
All right.
I
Are
don't
both
know.
parties available?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Thoreau, Captain Wrangler.
Could I just have one moment, like literally a minute, Your Honor?
You have until 9. You have until the hour.
Yep, time to rehearse some lies, right?
I've only served 5,000 months. What's 5 more minutes, right?
Hey, Hutch, remember 2 days ago when you wanted this?
Here you go.
Can.
Here you go, son.
Is that before or after you denied me a lawyer, Wrangler?
I
Can't barely see over the rail. Why did they make this so big?
Hear it. You
I
have
don't need to advise Captain Wrangler because I believe that
He's not that
he
heavy.
is capable as he has an attorney standing next to him. So do you, Hutch. I will just make a general note that if you do intend on bringing motions or claims on the docket corresponding to this case,
no, sir.
You cannot help yourself by speaking right now out of turn.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
You can only help him. Okay, one second.
Ah, father and son bonding.
Your Honor, is it okay if my son sits on my shoulders for this court case? He can't see over the border here.
Yeah, the railing's too high.
Yo, Puck Nader Gaming. Thank you so much for the prime.
Autumn, if you want to run out there. Oh, actually, if you go behind me, it'll move me. But
all right.
What?
Listen, court's great, but sitting 3 days in prison to get it is definitely shitty.
Hutch, you big.
All right, we have two
Liz,
defendants under consideration for this requested bail hearing. Their respective counsels are present. Mr.
Your
Braun
fault, though.
representing
Suck
Mr.
my
Hutch
cock.
Hutcherson, Miss
Ban
Anna
that guy,
Swallows
please.
representing Robert Loxley. Robert Loxley has communicated his willingness to submit to a trial date for this matter, as well as a willingness to post a bail bond. He is asking that Anna Swallows be able to represent him in his absence. That has been granted, as I do believe that his physical presence does not distinguish my finding of whether he should be issued bail or not. In this case, given that until proven guilty, he is still a certified member of the bar, and like any individual, should be given the benefit of the doubt when it comes to his ability to show up for court.
Liz, thank you so much.
I will
for the
hear
prime.
arguments about these matters shortly. I'm going to first proceed with a brief description of the charges faced, and then I will hear the people bringing this motion, namely Mr. Braun and Ms. Swallows, and then I will hear rebuttal and any commentary from the UPD represented by Captain Wrangler and Officer Black, as well as Special Prosecutor Thoreau. Give me one moment to assemble the docket in front of me.
No, it's just a bail hearing, chat. Probably have to pay like $100,000, and then I get out. And I can't do crime until the court case.
I will begin with Mr. Hutcherson. Mr. Hutcherson, you are being accused of a number of crimes, including misdemeanor possession of controlled dangerous substance, oxymeth, criminal possession of firearm class 1 × 6, attempted murder of a government employee, 3 counts, criminal possession of firearm class 2, 3 counts, resisting arrest, 1 count, possession of stolen property in the 3rd degree, 1 count, sale of drugs, 1 count, witness tampering, 1 count, and weapons trafficking, 1 count. I am well aware that you have been incarcerated, aka held until your trial date in Bolingbrook State Penitentiary for the witness tampering and the weapons trafficking charges, both of which are HUT charges with an indeterminate sentencing time and fine in the penal code. Now, in terms of Robert Loxley, defendant represented by Ms. Swallows, Mr. Loxley is being accused of accessory to witness tampering, 1 count, which remains a HUT charge. So, I would like to hear first, let's go with Mr. Braun. Mr. Braun, I'd like to hear your basis for your motion to grant bail in this matter. Why should I allow your client to re-enter society until his trial date?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Hutcherson, as it were, is highly motivated to disprove these erroneous charges against him and is not a flight risk on that basis. He wants nothing more than to have his day in court and be exonerated of the mislabeled charges. Frankly, the reason that he should be granted bail is that he should never have been locked up in the first place, Your Honor. My client robbed a Bobcat and should have been guilty of first-degree robbery, and he fired at a helicopter outside the gallery or some such thing and was charged with witness tampering. So the charges themselves are extremely
I'm sorry, could you
highly
repeat what-
fab. Shut the fuck up, Wrangler! Shut your whole
All right,
mouth.
Pause. Mr. Braun, another outburst like that is beyond the decorum of this room. You will get contempt. Now.
Well, Your Honor, with all due
No,
respect,
no,
it's not
no,
his
no,
turn to
no,
speak.
no, not with all due respect. It's not yours either right now. I'm speaking. Both of you.
Hi.
Captain Wrangler, I'm not going to hear interjections, laughter. I understand you have your opinions. Keep them to yourself until you are asked to speak. Mr. Braun, I don't care if he steps out of turn. That's my job to correct him, not yours. Both of you, am I clear?
He's going to keep doing it, Your Honor.
Yes,
Mr.
Your
Braun,
Honor.
am I clear?
You're very clear.
Thank you. Okay, proceed with your statement, Captain Wrangler. Please, no more interjections. Go ahead, Mr. Braun.
As I was saying, the charges are extremely fabricated in nature, which will be proven in court, and Mr. Hutcherson is extremely motivated to prove just that. And as such, he is not a flight risk.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Braun. Now, Miss Swallows, given that these two defendants are intrinsically linked based on the statement of claim and the way the crime is alleged to have occurred, the crimes, I should say, the one linking them in question, the witness tampering, I will hear your reasoning behind why I should grant Mr. Loxley bail as well, and then I'll hear a rebuttal on both from the UPD and Mr. Thoreau. Go ahead, Miss Swallows.
Thank you, Your Honor. Right now, in terms of his bail, Robert Loxley is a member of the bar in good standing with an impeccable record, not even so much as a traffic ticket at this point in his tenure within the city of Los Santos. He is employed by probably upwards of half of the city's largest businesses as either their lawyer or their accountant. And with these types of charges being put on him, which are erroneous in nature, he will more than likely lose his employment status with most of these businesses, which will impact his livelihood in every which way or shape or form. He is absolutely wanting to move forward with this case to be able to get rid of the erroneous charges of witness tampering, which he incurred while he was sleeping, no less. So that way he can move forward with his life.
They're slow.
What the hell's that?
All right, I'll hear from
That Robbie?
Mr. Thoreau. Mr. Thoreau, you can delegate if you'd like any of the officers to
Who the
speak
fuck
or
is
to
that?
add any
That's
context
fucking
to
Robbie,
your
isn't
position.
it?
Please
No, it's
go
not
ahead.
Robbie. Who the fuck is that?
At this time, Your Honor, the prosecution does not contest bail being granted to either defendant. The state has just as much interest as both defendants in seeing this case before the court of law, and the prosecution does not believe either defendant is currently a flight risk.
Understood. Okay. So, understanding that we are moving forward with the idea of bail occurring, the next question is this.
That's right, son. Tell him.
What conditions are you, the government, seeking to impose upon these gentlemen while they are out on bail awaiting their trial date, if any?
Your Honor, the prosecution is seeking the general conditions of parole from the state's legislation be applied to both defendants.
Stop. I don't know if you weren't aware of this, Mr. Thoreau. I've made myself very clear in previous bail hearings. In fact, I think, Captain Wrangler, you were present when I discussed this, so maybe you need to talk to Thoreau after this. In fact, I know you were, because we talked about this during Ableton. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, well, I would request no violent crimes at all, felonies or misdemeanors, while they're out on bail. And in this case, I would also request that the co-defendants have no contact with each other.
Your Honor, that is an extremely unreasonable requirement given that they are co-defendants and must meet with counsel to plan their legal strategy. That does not cut it.
I agree.
Okay, I can agree with that. Outside of that
Big
capacity,
freaking idiot.
We work together in multiple business,
Mr.
Murphy.
Braun.
Like Burger Shot, we work together.
The defendants work
casino?
together at multiple different businesses of which that they are employed at. I think it would be virtually impossible for them to not run into each other outside of instances of going over court proceedings and or prep work
Take
leading up
garbage,
to the
take it from the front.
trial in any case.
One more thing, Your Honor. I would push for felonies only, no misdemeanors.
my rebut to that would be, since the alleged crimes are violent in nature, and I have a concern that witness tampering might be something that would occur again, I would request no violent crimes at all.
One final rebuttal. The charges which are held until trial are not violent in nature. They are witness tampering and weapons trafficking.
The definition of witness tampering literally includes committing violence or the threat of violence.
Mr. Braun.
Well, they should change the wording because that's stupid. That's
not
all
what
I
we're
got.
here for today, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm sure
All right.
my client would have no contestation of the bail requirements.
It also involves a witness, which there was no
Understood.
witness, so
Okay.
it makes
Here's-
sense.
Yeah,
here's
shouldn't
what
it
I'm-
involve a
Correct.
witness, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Again, Your Honor, we're not here.
Yeah,
for
there
that
was
today.
no witness for these charges to even
lawyer?
applied.
Okay, stop. Here's what I'm going to say on the matter. I've heard enough. Thank you all for your input. In terms of the conditions, first off, the entire stemming of this incident has to do with Hutch and Loxley being party allegedly to conversations occurring inside MRPD and actions that were taken outside of MRPD allegedly in relation to those conversations. Now, I'm not here to consider the material validity of those alleged facts or not. I'm not going to consider them either way as true or not true. What I'm going to tell you is that for the purposes of bail, I will state that given the seriousness of the charges, I will order that in terms of bail, both defendants are not to be arrested, convicted of violent crimes, actionable crimes, misdemeanors or felonies. Now, however, before Mr. Braun, I hear your impassioned outrage, as it were. I want to make this very clear to everyone, and I will say this one final time here. Bail is a privilege. It is not a right. We are affording the ability for you to reenter society despite the crimes alleged against you because you were innocent until proven guilty. I do not believe either of these individuals are flight risks. However, there needs to be a check and balance for the ability for you to interact freely with society. If committing violent crimes is too high of a bar for that, then I'm sorry, but you need to adjust your bar. Now, the revocation of bail or the request for the revocation of bail is solely at the judge's discretion, this judge being myself, Judge Alan Crane. If the police department or the special prosecutors unit feel that they have evidence that bail has been violated, I will hear that evidence. I will not hear it in a hearing or a trial. I will hear it. It will be delivered to me. Now, Mr. Hutcherson, do you believe that I'm fairly capable of understanding whether or not your bail should be revoked, and I can
Yes,
parse
sir.
out the difference between a trumped-up charge and a legitimate reason to send you back to jail?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After speaking to Mr. Loxley, I believe I have the same understanding with him. So
Yes, sir.
here's what I'm going to be doing. Thank you, Ms. Swallows. I will grant the request for the conditions of no violent crimes. I will not be granting the standard conditions of parole, as I believe that is an archaic standard we should not apply to people out on bail as they're innocent until proven guilty. This means, Mr. Hutcherson and Mr. Loxley, Ms. Swallows, you can relay this to him, you are to comply with police. For example, if police pull you over for a traffic stop, you are not to flee from them. if police try to detain you for some crime they believe they have probable cause for or reasonable suspicion to investigate, you are at the very least to speak to them. Now, does this mean that police are allowed to stop you for any reason? No. You have the same intact rights as any other citizen. However, it does mean that you will be punished if you continuously deny cooperation with police when they have, in
So
their
it should
belief,
be
a
100%
reasonable suspicion to stop
success rate.
you. Now,
Can you put your
as I
phone
said
on
already,
silent?
It is.
as I said already, I will be the person to determine if a violation has occurred. So this will put a check and balance of the idea that you can get a trumped up charge or a reason for them to stop you that you have to cooperate with. I would encourage you, Mr. Hutcherson, to keep in mind that if you truly want to be vindicated at the end of the day in court, you will keep this in mind and understand that if you believe, and it is your assertion, as Mr. Braun has made clear in this room and elsewhere, that you have been mistreated or unfairly prosecuted in this case, it is in your best interest to keep your nose as clean as possible so that when you come into court, you can prove exactly how wronged you were. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the conditions are as follows. No violent, actionable crimes, misdemeanors, or felonies. No transferring of any assets or your primary place of residence. This means you are not to sell your vehicles, sell your house, move locations that you live during this time period. You are to cooperate with police. This does not mean they can search you at any time. This does not mean that they can violate your rights. Your rights are the same as they always were. It just means that there is a stronger punishment for you resisting any kind of arrest or evading from them or any of the sort. Finally, I have already begun a calculation of Mr. Loxley's finances. Mr. Hutcherson, very briefly here, in order to calculate your bond for this bail, I'm going to go to your MDW profile. Mr. Hutcherson, one by one, I'm going to ask you about the vehicles registered in your name.
Yes, sir.
The flatbed, how much did you pay for that?
$2,500.
The taxi,
$1,200.
your Dominator,
$32,000.
Mr. Hutcherson, your Dominator cost you $32,000.
Yes, sir. I bought it in cash. He owed me one. Don't worry, my Mustang's gonna fuck me, Your Honor.
All right, Dominator 32. How much is the Mustang?
$800,000.
So hot. Fuck your hot now.
And the R1.
$65,000.
How much did you pay for Grove Street 8?
Hutch, you big
$500,000. $454,658 to be exact.
Exact.
Fuck, I hate this bond.
All right, Mr. Hutcherson. What is your state ID?
3655.
Mr. Hutcherson, do you have any outstanding loans?
Yes, sir.
In what amounts?
$356,000 on my Mustang.
Any other loans?
No, sir.
All right. So given the conditions I've just established, which I will be posting on the docket for all to see and observe, in terms of the financial component here, this is the way this is going to work, Mr. Hutcherson. I have valued your current total assets based on the figures you've provided, and I'm relying upon in good faith, at $2,278,407. Your liabilities are in the amount of $356,000. That's your loan. The delta there being $1,922,407. 20% of your current total net worth is $384,481.40. So your bond, which is 10% of that amount, is $38,448. I will be billing your state account the $38,448. This will not have a cut to me. I'm billing it directly from the judicial account.
Hey, that's not bad.
If at trial you are found guilty, and you are sentenced to a fine, this amount will be reduced from that fine. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Hutch, you
All right,
big
Mr.
freaking
Hutchinson,
idiot.
I'm going to bill you for that amount now. Bear with me one moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You poor bro. You poor now.
Hutch, you big freaking idiot.
Hey, Hot, over here, Hot. Hot,
Yes, Francis.
Is that his nickname now?
He's down here.
Hot.
Yes, Francis. Yes,
Bro, you
Francis.
poor now, bro.
Let him drive your Rari around.
All
It'll
right,
make it feel
Mr.
better.
Hutcherson, you have been billed. Now on to Mr. Loxley. Miss Swallows.
Yes, sir.
I have been provided with an accounting of Mr. Loxley's finances. Mr. Loxley has provided that he owns a Coquette D10,
You're Hutterson now.
which he purchased for $450,000.
Yes,
he
sir.
owns a flatbed, which he purchased at $10,000. Guess he got ripped off.
Yes, he did.
And he has a personal account balance of $1.1 million at this time.
Yes, he does.
As a result, his listed personal assets are listed at $1,560,000. He owns these all outright. He has no outstanding debts. As a
Correct.
result, his net worth is the same. 20% of that net worth would be $312,000. However, Mr. Loxley has graciously, in good faith, divulged to me that he is in control of a number of accounts of liquid assets that are financial holdings accounts as well as business accounts for his clients.
Yes, sir.
He has at his fingertips an ungodly amount of money.
Yes.
Now, do I believe that he is going to necessarily run? Do I think it's a possibility? I don't believe so, but given the amount of money involved, I am going to add an adjustment to his total bail condition. I'm going to apply his personal assets and come out to the figure of $31,200. However, as an impetus to him exercising his ability to completely divest himself of any responsibility using his vast access to funds, I will be implementing an escrow amount of money in an additional $100,000. This is a extremely meager sum, given that he has represented to me that he has access to over $30 million. So
30.
his total amount that will
Fuck,
be
yeah.
issued in terms of his bond will be the $31,200 for his personal assets as an escrow amount cashed against that extreme
Sorry, we're
amount of
breaking
money
up
he has
on him.
access to. There'll be an additional.
Anna, we gotta fuck
$100,000
over
money
Loxley
billing
so we
his
can
state
take those
ID
accounts over.
$131,200. The same applies if he is found guilty.
Hey,
If
Lucky.
and he is fined, that amount will be removed. If that amount is less than the total amount that has been escrowed, he'll be refunded as usual.
Garrett will too.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am sure that he would be perfectly fine with that.
Elon Musk. My God, is that Elon Musk? Take me to Mars.
Yo, seriously, we should totally fuck over Loxley and take the accounts over. What do you
There is
think?
no
Anna?
way in hell I'm going to fuck over the most powerful person in fucking Los Santos.
Look, I'm not saying I'm not saying that we should do that. I'm just saying, it's an idea.
What'd you say you what
All right.
what'd you say you witch? That's my
At
son.
At this time,
First day in
both
America. Leave
defendants
alone.
have been billed for their bail
Do not
bond.
know.
I will reiterate one final time for everyone's benefit. No violent, actionable offenses. This includes misdemeanors. You will cooperate with police at all times
sure
until your
that's so?
trial date. You will not sell, transfer any assets. You will not move your primary place of business. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Crystal.
All right. Thank y'all. Mr. Thoreau, Captain Wrangler, any other comments from y'all before we close this matter?
No, Your Honor.
No,
I
Your
have
Honor.
one, sir.
Yeah, Ms. Swallows, go ahead.
Is there a possibility of being able to get a receipt of said billing for bail sent to me or my client, Mr. Loxley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is all of these conditions going to be put up in writing?
As always, I will post a lengthy explanation of all conditions as well as the bail bond amounts on the docket
Control
for
your son.
posterity.
Pictures of our son.
Also, Loxley said that you would pay me the 100,000 as my legal fee.
Thank you all. This matter is closed. DOC, you may release Mr. Hutcherson into his own reconnaissance.
Hutch, you won!
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stay the fuck away from Wrangler.
I will.
Congrats.
Please stay the fuck away.
I need to go get a license. I don't have a license, so I
won.
need to go get one.
Let's go, Hutch.
Green
Like,
jail time.
Thank
If
you.
Wrangler comes near you, like you don't even speak English, okay?
Yeah,
All you
he's
know
a
is
figment of your
lawyer,
imagination.
lawyer.
He does not exist.
Okay?
Got it. Got it.
Free,
Yes.
No
you're
habla.
free.
No habla English.
Congratulations.
Excuse me.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, Francis.
During the day, I am always around. At nighttime,
Hutch.
Murphy's always
Yay.
around. So
Got it.
no, I'm not always in the DOJ though. Just make sure.
Yeah, I
here,
got
make
your
sure you
number.
have. You got it. I know. Yeah, because I've represented you
Hutch,
myself
big
before. Just
freaking
make sure
Yeah,
that you
yeah, I
ask
got
for
you.
one of us.
You got
So
it.
Anna,
I
we
will.
should probably work on some sort of motion to dismiss on this one.
Oh, by the way, Loxley,
agree.
you're looking great today, man. You know, if you ever need anything, you let me know.
That's not Loxley. That's Tim Collins. That's my.
Tim
Man,
Collins,
nobody-
you're poor.
Nobody knows who Tim Collins is. It's so
Where
sad.
the
Thank
hell
you,
did
Murphy.
go?
Loxley is
anytime.
not currently.
We're gonna
do
get you
know-
out of this bullshit.
Yeah, do you know
Yeah,
how
it's
long until
absolute
our
fucked.
court case?
All right,
we'll
the
find out
main
here
issue we're up
eventually.
against right now is we're under the wire because of the holidays. Once the holidays
Yeah.
start happening and people are traveling and shit, it gets a lot harder to schedule a case. So hopefully we can get it done in
Yeah,
the next couple
hopefully
of weeks.
soon.
Jesus,
I'm gonna
I gotta
keep the
stay
pressure
clean
on.
for weeks. Fuck.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
do it. Just go work a burger shop, man.
All right, now I'll
But
go to work.
I'm gonna keep the pressure on. But we're gonna do a motion to dismiss, and hopefully
Yeah.
we can argue that the charges aren't even the right charges.
Well, they're
and
not the right charges at all. I mean, there's no fucking
aren't.
witness to tamper with, for one.
Well, I mean, it's literally lies. Like he said that
It
we
is,
talked.
it's all lies.
He said that we talked about the fucking the gallery, but that didn't happen until after his cars
Yeah.
and stuff.
And
was
I'm the
searched.
first
Exactly.
person to ever get gun trafficking after a Bobcat. I
Yep.
literally
Yeah.
talked to Andrews on the phone. He had 11 different instances where Bobcat people were caught, and all of them were just charged with the weapons other than me.
Well, right. Well, I mean, the entire reason that this shit started is because Wrangler decided he was going to allow you down there to begin with, and he
Yeah.
put the only reason why Loxley has this charge on him is because of the stipulation that Wrangler said that he is responsible for whatever you do while in the cell.
5.5 hours later.
5.5
also,
hours
which is-
fucking later. Yeah,
all.
it's a fucking
Never
reach and a
talk to
half,
Wrangler.
and I'm gonna
I could not be more emphatic. Don't even say hello.
I'm
say
gonna
lawyer.
rip his mustache off and I'm gonna shove
I
it
mean,
up
I
his ass
wouldn't
so
even go
far
down
it's gonna
there.
come back out his nose.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna
But
go
if he
my
ca-
ass
if he
to
if he
sleep.
captures you,
I
don't
appreciate
blame
you.
you.
I'll see you around. All right.
say
If you need
lawyer.
anything,
Be
call me.
careful.
Don't even
okay.
say a word to
I
him.
will.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
too, man.
Murphy.
Not a word.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Left the wood in there for like a day and a half, so I had all these problems.
Thank you, Crane. You have a wonderful day.
You too, buddy. Stay safe.
Bye, Hutch.
Bye. Hey guys, thank you guys for coming.
Are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep here at the
Wait,
bus stop.
Loxley wasn't there?
No, Loxley's asleep, man. He's tired like me.
Oh shoot! All right, good night, bro. Hey, I'm sorry
Good
again
night,
this
Hutch.
happening to you, man.
Yeah, it's all
Dude,
good, man.
fucking
It's no big deal. I'll see
Yeah,
you
no big
guys.
deal. Your whole life's just ruined. See you, bro.
See ya.